Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Blended Librarian at Goa. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic that is extremely important for researchers, scholars and anyone involved in academic writing. How to write a research paper. What I am sharing in this session is based on my experience, continuous interaction with researchers and my observations while writing my own papers. This video is designed to simplify the process and give you a clear step-by-step understanding of how to approach research writing with confidence. Before we begin, I want you to understand one important thing. Writing a research paper is not about writing good English. It is about communicating research thinking in a scientific manner. Many researchers feel stressed because they think they must write perfectly from the beginning. That is not true. Research writing improves through planning, drafting, revising, and refining. Today, I will explain each step in detail so that by the end of this session, you know how to start, how to proceed, and how to finish a research paper. Now, let us begin by understanding what exactly a research paper is. A research paper is a systematic, structured, and formal document that presents original research findings, critical analysis, or interpretation of existing knowledge on a specific topic. It is a scientific communication meant for scholars, reviewers, editors, and the academic community. The main purpose of research paper is to add new knowledge to the field, solve a problem, or answer a research question and communicate findings clearly and ethically. A good research paper is clear, logical, evidence-based, and properly referenced. Every statement in a research paper must be supported by evidence, properly cited, and logically connected. Before you write even a single line, you must ask yourself, what am I trying to find out and why does it matter? This clarity is the backbone of good research writing. Now that we understood what a research paper is, let us move to choosing the title of research paper. The title is the identity of your research paper. It is the first thing that readers, editors, and reviewers see. A good research title should clearly indicate what the study is about. It should be specific, informative, and closely related to the research problem. Avoid titles that are too broad or vague. A title should not confuse or mislead the reader. For example, a title like Online Learning is too general, whereas awareness and utilization of online learning portals among teacher trainees clearly shows the focus of the study. The title should be concise but meaningful. Avoid unnecessary words, jargon, or abbreviations. In most cases, the title is finalized after the research is completed so that it accurately represents the content and findings of the paper. A well-framed title improves visibility, attracts the right audience, and increases the chances of your paper being read and cited. Once the title is finalized, the next component of the paper is the abstract. The abstract is a concise summary of the entire paper. It is often the first part that editors, reviewers, and readers read, and sometimes the only part they read. The abstract briefly explains what the study is about, why it was conducted, how it was conducted, and what was found. A good abstract usually includes the research problem or purpose, the methodology used, the major findings, and the conclusion or implications. The abstract should be clear, precise, and written in a single paragraph. It should not include references, tables, figures, or citations. Remember, the abstract is not an introduction. It is a summary of the entire paper and is usually written after the paper is completed. A well-written abstract improves the visibility and acceptance chances of your paper. Immediately after the abstract, we write keywords. Keywords are important terms or phrases that represent the core concept of your research. They help databases, search engines, and indexing services identify and retrieve your paper. Keywords should be closely related to the research topic, reflect major variables or concepts, and usually range from 4 to 6 words or phrases. Avoid very general words. Choose terms that are specific and commonly used in your research area. Well-chosen keywords improves the discoverability and citation potential of your research paper. After abstract and keywords, the paper moves into the introduction section. The introduction sets the context of your research. It tells the reader what the study is about and why it is important. A good introduction usually moves from general to specific. It includes the background of the study, the context and importance of the topic, a brief review, identification of the research gap, a clear statement of research problem, and the objectives or purpose of the study. By the end of the introduction, the reader should clearly understand what problem is being studied, why it matters, and what the study aims to achieve. A strong introduction creates interest and prepares the reader for the rest of the paper. Once the introduction is complete, the research paper moves to literature review. The literature review is the foundation of your research paper. Many researchers think literature review means copying summaries from papers. This is a serious mistake. Many researchers think literature review means collecting many papers. That is incorrect. Literature review means reading critically, understanding trends, and identifying gaps. While reading, focus on the purpose of the study, sample and tool used, key findings, and gap and limitations. The purpose of literature review is to understand what work has already been done, identify research gap, avoid duplication, and frame research objectives. Researchers should collect articles, thesis, report, and conference paper. Start with review papers first. Read abstract and then full papers. Note key variables, methods, and findings. Do not simply summarize one paper after another. Compare, contrast, and critically analyze studies. Organize studies thematically or chronologically and end by highlighting the research gap. End the review by clearly stating, based on the review, it is evident that limited studies have examined ... This sentence leads naturally to your research. Now, let us move to framing objectives and research questions. Once the gap is identified, frame research objectives. Objectives convert your research problem into action. Good objectives are clear, begin with action verb like examine, to analyze, or to study. Good objectives are specific, measurable, and directly linked to the research problem. A bad objective is, example, to study online learning. Example of good objective is to analyze the level of awareness and utilization of online learning portals among teacher trainees. Research questions help in tool design, data collection, and data analysis. Each objective should have at least one research question or hypothesis. If objectives are weak, the entire paper becomes weak. Now that objectives are clear, let us move to research methodology. Methodology shows how seriously your research was conducted. This section explains how the research was conducted and it determines validity and reliability. Clearly explain the research design, whether the study is descriptive, survey, or experimental, and justify your choice. Mention the population and sample, including who the participants were, the sample size, and the sampling method. Explain the tools for data collection, such as questionnaire, interview schedule, or observation checklist. Also explain data analysis techniques like percentage, mean, standard deviation, or inferential statistic. Do not write, data was analyzed using suitable techniques. Instead write, data was analyzed using percentage analysis and t-test. This section must be written clearly and transparently so that the study can be replicated. After methodology, the next step is data collection. Data may be primary data collected directly through surveys and interviews or secondary data collected from existing sources. While collecting data, ensure ethical practices. Ethics is not optional in research. Take informed consent, maintain confidentiality, ensure voluntary participation, and use validated tools where possible. Data collected unethically can lead to rejection of the paper or even withdrawal after publication. Always maintain transparency in data collection. Once data is collected, it must be analyzed and interpreted. After collecting data, it must be organized, tabulated, and analyzed using appropriate methods. Data analysis converts raw data into meaningful information. Quantitative data may be analyzed using percentage, mean, standard deviation, t-test, or ANOVA. Qualitative data may be analyzed using themes, categories, and narratives. Remember, results are not raw data. They are processed and meaningful findings. Use tables only when necessary. Do not duplicate information in the text and highlight key trends. Interpretation means explaining what the result indicates, why it may have occurred, and linking findings to objectives. Avoid emotional or personal opinions. Always remember, interpretations must be supported by data. Now, let us move to the discussion section. Discussion is where you connect your findings to existing knowledge. Here, you should compare with the previous studies, explain similarities and differences, and justify unexpected results. This section shows whether you understand your field deeply. A strong discussion answers the questions: what does this finding mean in the broader academic context? This section differentiates an average paper from a quality paper. Next, we conclude the paper. The conclusion should summarize major findings, address each objective, avoid repetition, and avoid introducing new information. Recommendations should focus on practical implications, suggestions for institutions, policy implications, and direction for future research. Keep this section concise but meaningful. Proper referencing is mandatory to avoid plagiarism. Give credit to original authors, show academic integrity, and improve credibility. Editing includes language correction, logical flow, and formatting as per journal guidelines. Never submit a paper without multiple revisions. Before submission, check grammar and clarity. Remove repetitions, ensure logical flow, follow journal guidelines strictly, Follow the journal specified style such as APA, Vancouver, or MLA, or any other style. Ensure in-text citations matches the reference list. Use reference managers like Mendeley or Zotero and check plagiarism percentage. A well-written paper is often rejected due to poor formatting, not poor content. AI tools can be used for language improvement, grammar correction, and summarizing articles. However, ideas, analysis, and interpretation must be your own. AI should not replace critical thinking. Always follow institutional and journal policies. This is my final advice to all the researchers. Research writing is a skill, not a talent. Read more, write more, and revise more. Follow ethical research practices. Seek feedback from mentors and librarians. And remember that research writing is a learning journey. Every paper improves your next paper. Start imperfect, revise patiently, and publish ethically. Okay, so let me revise the entire session. A good research paper is not written in one day. It evolves through reading, thinking, writing, revising, and refining. To conclude, research writing is a structured journey, a disciplined practice, and a skill that improves with experience. Do not wait for perfection. Start writing, revise continuously, and seek feedback. Remember, research does not end with data collection. It ends when your work is communicated effectively. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this session useful, do like the video, share it with your fellow researchers and scholars, and subscribe to the channel for more academic and research-oriented content. Your support encourages me to create more such learning resources. Dev Bare Guru.